Welcome to the Natural Health and Healing Show with one of New England's leading nutritionists, Mark Mincola. The show is brought to you by the Good Health Stores in Hanover and Quincy. Call Mark at 781-837-4900 with your health and nutrition questions. Now, here's Mark.
Trust everyone is enjoying this winter's eve. A little snow on the ground, a little more to come. It's that time of year we kind of have to expect these things. And Catherine Foley, welcome to you.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
Good. I'm not sure if this makes it.
There we go. I think we're slowly coming together here, one step at a time.
Hello.
And a welcome to everybody out there. And we have some interesting information we're going to share with you this evening, as we do each and every Sunday night. Tonight we're actually going to talk a little bit about cancer, and we have Laura Pratt actually coming on at 10 after the hour from Good Health Natural Foods. Laura has some, I think, very fascinating updated information regarding some new products, and we're going to talk about very important ways that folks who are stuck on tobacco and those folks up there who are perhaps addicted to smoking and have been for some time might consider implementing to quit the evil weed, the evil tobacco, and to try to lower those risks for, obviously, lung cancer, etc. But we're going to talk a little about cancer first. And unfortunately, cancer is an issue that really plays directly into the very serious rising mortality rates, the preventable disease or preventable mortality rates. Unfortunately, 8.4 million Americans presently have cancer in America, and 1.4 million are diagnosed each and every year with the dread disease. So things are not good, numerically speaking, or as far as the statistics go. 565,000 Americans die from cancer each and every year. Now, a really interesting figure here, we're going to talk a lot about lung cancer in particular, and lung cancer deaths account for 150,000 of those 565,000 cancer deaths per year. And it's been estimated that 130,000 of those 150,000 are preventable, and they're directly due to smoking.
Wow.
So think about this. You know, lung cancer is the number one form of cancer right now that is the life taker among all the various cancers. And when you consider the fact that 130,000 out of 150,000 folks are dying directly because of smoking. In other words, if those folks could ever give up the tobacco, we can really cut a huge chunk out of preventable cancer deaths every year. So there would be a death rate of about 20,000 as opposed to 150,000.
Wow.
So smoking, really obviously an important issue. And we're going to come back and talk about that and really give folks some really good ideas about how they can quit smoking, and very safe, effective, natural ways to do that. When you consider the present mortality rate from smoking, 1,500 Americans die from cancer each and every day. Before the sun sets each and every day, 1,500 more Americans will die. And, you know, they bring up the note on that, Patrick Quillen does, and he says, you know, that's the equivalent of 5 fully loaded 747s going down every day.
Wow.
Now, if that were in the news, you know, if 5 of those 747s went down, there were no survivors, and they were packed with flyers, with folks, you know, you'd really see front-page news there. But we rarely really discuss the fact, because we kind of have become numb to the reality of cancer, unfortunately. But when you consider the fact that your lifetime probability of dying from an invasive form of cancer, if you're a male, is 45%.
Wow.
If you're a female, it's 38%. So 45 of every 100 men listening tonight out there in the audience, and 38 of every 100 women listening out there in the audience, unfortunately, can be expected in their lifetime of dying from an invasive form of cancer. Americans are spending $78 billion per year to fight the dread disease, including 800,000 radiation treatments, 60 million related doctor visits. And when we talk about the $2 billion in research, I kind of wonder sometimes why.
Right.
And the lung cancer alone basically costs America $9.6 billion per year to treat. Incredible. And as we said earlier, the numbers are just unfortunately skyrocketing. 5 years ago, cancer drug costs accounted for 13.9% of all medical expenses. Currently, that number has risen to 22% in 5 years.
Wow.
It's almost doubled in 5 years. So, when we consider the fact that there's so very much that we can do with regards to nutrition, and again, keep in mind, much of what we're dealing with here is preventable disease. And nutrition plays a huge role in this whole process. When you consider that the Journal of American Medicine in September of 2004 actually published a study that they'd completed on the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle factors and 10-year mortality rate in elderly European men and women. And they determined that the Mediterranean diet and a healthy lifestyle is associated with more than a 50% lower rate of all causes of specific mortality.
Wow.
Cutting mortality in half. Really, eating fish, poultry, whole grain products, fruits and vegetables, getting off the tobacco, and exercising.
Wow.
Now, that is not asking a lot to cut these dread disease rates, and specifically these cancer rates, in half.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about cancer, we really focus on so many different aspects regarding research, regarding chemotherapy, and everybody waiting and wishing and praying for the miracle drug, when in fact 50% of that population could be preserved, protected,
Right.
could prevent untimely death with lifestyle and nutrition. And quitting smoking is a huge part of that equation.
Right.
So, I know Laura's got some really interesting and impassioned thoughts about that.
Yeah.
We got some new products to talk about and some fascinating opportunities for folks to put together some viable strategies, some really, really interesting natural strategies to quit tobacco and to lower these horrible, horrible lung cancer numbers.
Right. And, one of the things about lung cancer is it's so dangerous and it is so aggressive because there's so many capillaries in the lung tissue. So oftentimes lung cancer is highly metastatic, meaning there's a large probability of those cancer cells to be able to spread throughout the body because of the network of capillaries that are infused in the lung tissue.
Absolutely true. And, I think that when we talk about folks who are really, really addicted to tobacco, there are folks out there that just are convinced. There's many folks that just don't want to give up tobacco.
Right.
And then there are many folks that would like to or love to, but really feel that they're helpless,
Right.
In the clutches of the addiction. And I think those are the folks that we're really speaking to this evening. And when they hear what we have to say, I think they're going to be really hopeful. We've got some great strategic approaches to naturally help them kick the tobacco and to really lower these lung cancer risk factors.
Yeah.
We're going to do that when we come back from this break. Stay right there.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health, proud sponsor of the Health and Healing Show. These are challenging economic times, and Good Health Natural Foods wants to help. We're a small, family-owned market, and for 31 years, when you've had to tighten your belt, so have we. Good Health offers the very finest organic produce, natural and gluten-free groceries, vitamins, herbs, homeopathics, and beauty products. So make every dollar count. For the holidays, you'll find clean, organic cosmetics, beautiful soy candles, and salt lamps. All our products are available at our everyday low prices. Come by and see us in Quincy Center or Route 53 in Hanover. Visit GoodHealthNaturalFood.com. Good Health, the intelligent choice for everything healthful and economical. Thanks for listening to the Health and Healing Show. See you soon.
Hi, this is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We're happy to announce our new partnership with Dr. Mark Mincola. When we started out in this industry, our intentions were to bring good quality nutrition, cutting-edge science, and reasonably priced products to the market, and also encourage people to take an active role in their own health and wellness. Jarrow Formulas has been in business for over 20 years and is considered an industry leader. Jarrow is incredibly active in consumers' rights to access dietary supplements and creating good quality manufacturing standards for our industry. When we first met Dr. Mincola, we knew that we had a true partner and an ally in the mission of creating a happy, healthy, and wealthy New England through the sharing of knowledge and enthusiasm for health and healing. And we're excited for the world of knowledge that there is that we can share with you all as we take this journey together with great partners, great energy, and looking forward to a great future for all of those that are encouraged to come along.
Alrighty, welcome back in, and we will wait for the connection with Laura Pratt from Good Health Natural Foods. And we're going to be discussing things regarding cancer, and we're going to discuss specifically strategic approaches, natural strategic approaches to really helping you folks get off of the tobacco and lowering those lung cancer risks. And I believe we've got Laura on the line. Welcome, Laura.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
How is everything in your world?
It's lovely out here in Milton.
It is
lovely and snowy.
Beautiful. Now, I know that you have some really interesting thoughts regarding the Himalayan crystal salt inhaler. Why don't you discuss that with us for a minute?
Oh, I do. It's such an amazing product. Let me first start off by telling you who one of my customers told me about it. He first came into the store. He had great trouble breathing. I mean, he'd walk a couple of steps, and then he'd have to put his bags down, and he was very labored breathing. And he told me about the salt inhaler, and now when he comes in, his skin is a different color. He breathes normally. It's remarkable.
He's oxygenating.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what it is for folks out there. I mean, you know, this is radio. Folks are trying to envision what this looks like and how it works and how they use it, etc.
Sure. It's a very small ceramic inhaler. And it comes filled with the pink Himalayan salts. And you just use it a few times a day. You breathe normally. You breathe in through the little mouthpiece.
No bad smells or anything like that?
No, it leaves a salty taste in your mouth.
Okay.
You breathe out through your nose, and the more you use it, that salty flavor does go away. But it cleanses, the salt crystals actually cleanse the lung tissue.
So it really kind of opens up the lung tissues and increases the oxygenation process and makes it easier to breathe, etc.
It's great for people who suffer from headaches, sinus issues, bronchitis, asthma, smokers. I sent one out to my sister who sings for the Welsh choir in Southern California, and after about 4 days of using it, she said she was able to hold her notes longer. So she was clearly getting more oxygen.
That's incredible.
While she was singing. Yeah, it's really exciting.
And these are obviously, this product specifically, the Himalayan crystal salt inhalers by Nature's Artifacts, is available at Good Health.
It is. It's in Quincy and Hanover.
Great.
It's on sale now. And it's such a non-invasive, natural way to really work on any respiratory disorder.
Well, to alkalize those tissues, I mean, if it's a salt-based product, and I'm guessing it's highly mineralized, I mean, that would encourage me to believe that there's probably a great deal of alkalization at a tissue level. And alkalization translates as oxygenation. So, you know, for folks out there who are just suffering from the winter bronchial thing, folks who might have asthma, folks who might have bronchitis, folks who might have a lung allergy, etc.
Right, and the neat thing about it, Mark, is you can use the inhaler. Some people also have used the neti pots.
Right.
They work beautifully together. The neti pots will cleanse the sinuses, but they won't really work on the lungs. So if you have horrible sinus headaches or allergies, I would recommend using both the neti pots with the inhaler.
Right. Well, and Laura, you've heard the beginning of the broadcast and you're certainly familiar with these numbers, and I know you're impassioned about this as well, but 150,000 Americans dying from lung cancer every year. You know, and what we're trying to do here is get the message out there that the numbers, according to the Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York, suggest that if folks quit smoking, the number right now at 150,000 deaths per year would drop down to 20,000.
Oh, it's astounding. The numbers are just terrifying. And you probably already know this, and Catherine, I'm sure you do too, but 20 minutes after you quit smoking, the research indicates that your blood pressure drops back to normal, your pulse rate goes back to normal, your body temperature, your hands and your feet go back to normal. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
8 hours.
Sure it is.
Your carbon monoxide levels go back to normal. I mean, it just, I'm so amazed. I just, if I can get one person, one of your listeners to come into our stores and try and quit, look at some of our homeopathics, look at the Jarrow products, look at the quantum products. We've got so many beautiful natural products that can really work on the nicotine withdrawal symptoms and anxiety.
Absolutely, and there really are some viable alternatives as well. There's a number of folks who we've helped over the years in our offices, and we recommend homeopathic Lobelia inflata. And Lobelia is wonderful for tobacco addiction. We use a 30C. I like to use Lobelia inflata with Ignatia together, and the two have really helped many, many folks that I worked with. Those are homeopathic medicines. I recommend them in a 30c dose, 3 pellets under the tongue 3 times a day. That's Lobelia and Ignatia. And
Mark,
again,
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I was going to say you do have these in stock quite readily at Good Health.
We do. And maybe you and Catherine can talk a bit about Jarrow NAC and the quantum formulas.
Absolutely. Catherine, you know a great deal about NAC.
Well, NAC, N-acetylcysteine, is an amino acid. It's a sulfur amino acid, and in the body it's a precursor to cellular glutathione. And glutathione helps the body to fight free radicals and recycle some of your body's own antioxidants, being like vitamin C and vitamin E. Across the board, smokers, when they look at serum vitamin C levels, their serum vitamin C levels are the turnover rate is about double of that than non-smokers. So what that means is that the body is using up its antioxidants twice as frequently to be able to deal with the onslaught of toxins in cigarette smoke.
Right.
So NAC is an amino acid that helps your body recycle things like vitamin C and makes vitamin C more powerful in your body. So it really helps into fighting all of the chemicals from cigarette smoke. But additionally, NAC is used in Germany and in Europe as a treatment for smokers with chronic bronchitis.
Well, and I've also seen studies regarding the high sulfur L-cysteine as an agent that actually restores the pulmonary system from tar, and that it expedites the removals of tar from smoking quitters, from those folks who do quit and want to reverse the tar buildup in those lungs, that it expedites it by fourfold.
Right.
So it dramatically increases the speed with which the lungs recycle themselves from the tar buildup.
Yeah, and that's really important because in the tar there is still some residual nicotine, and as long as that nicotine is in the body is going to crave it.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the ways to really, really flush the body and really detox the body from all of the cigarette smoke and the nicotine buildup.
Also, Dr. Carl Pfeiffer, I've studied a lot of his work and actually used to speak with him fairly regularly in the old days. A very wonderful person, but he was at the Princeton BioBrain Center, and he spoke a great deal about folks who were smokers in their studies, addictive folks, who had either high pyroluria levels, which is high MAV factor, from cryptopyrroles, which basically means B6 and zinc deficiency.
Wow.
What they were doing is they were getting these folks who were highly addictive on high levels of zinc and high levels of B6 to neutralize the MAV factor in their chemistry. Also, he found folks with elevated histamine. The folks with the high cryptopyrroles and histamines are the folks that were the most addicted.
Wow.
And he said one of the key ways you can determine if this is your addiction problem is if you don't remember your dreams.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he used to say, because if your vitamin B6 is really dreadfully low, you're not going to remember a dream you've ever had.
Wow.
That is interesting.
So he would use that as a chief guiding determinant if folks really needed to kind of get off the cigarettes or the alcohol or etc. And what he would recommend is L-histidine, glutamine. And the glutamine would be 5,000 milligrams. The histidine would be 500. B6 would be 200 milligrams times 3. And the zinc would be a gluconate, 50 milligrams. So that's for folks who kind of have that real strong biochemical addiction that they don't seem to be able to break.
Right.
Mark, do you think that GABA would be helpful for people getting off cigarettes?
I would guess so, because it's such an important neurotransmitter for a nervous system that is overdriven. When you've got that sort of sympathetic adrenal dominance, that stress-driven nervous system, and you're not able to tranquilize yourself to sleep naturally at night with your own chemistry, those folks that are so inclined to addict to tobacco and alcohol, for that matter, as well, are those folks that just can't handle the nervous system response that is just so overdriven and so sympathetically dominant. So I would say absolutely, like perhaps 500 milligrams 2-3 times a day on an empty stomach.
Yeah,
and you had also mentioned foods. Your last show, didn't you mention that some foods are really terrific at stimulating the immune system?
Absolutely. There's a number of foods that and when you think about, I always break it down to the 3 words: berries, cherries. Actually, 4: berries, cherries, grapes, and tea.
That's right.
I remember that show.
That's my 4 words. Well, because the because the polyphenols and the catechins, and these are really very powerful oxygenating agents. And back to Dr. Carl Pfeiffer at the BioBrain Institute at Princeton, he found that folks, he was a great believer in orthomolecular, finding the right molecule. The idea of orthomolecular was a term coined by the great Nobel Prize-winning Linus Pauling in the 70s. It's this concept that disease isn't something that we're born with, and disease isn't something that you're genetically determined to get. And that includes addiction, by the way. That the idea is you have these genetic pathways, but they're not the determinants. You only got 30,000 genes, and that's simply not enough determinant factor to push you over the edge in any of these areas. So if someone says, well, how can I beat my addiction? My mother was addicted, my father was addicted to tobacco, alcohol, etc. Well, that's not the way it works. That you can alter the behavior of genes. And, even Pfeiffer found that the way that things really dramatically change is when you replace the missing molecules, when you find the right molecules orthomolecularly. So by looking at all the research at Princeton, the folks who are addicted are the folks that weren't properly nutrient supplied.
Yeah.
So when you find the missing nutrients, the B complexes, vitamin B3 is, of course, so important in a lot of these addictive problems. Mm-hmm. Vitamin B6, as we pointed out, and zinc, histidine. There's a specific deficiency that folks have to think in terms of building up. Now, the best way to do that, not to oversimplify here, but berries, cherries, grapes, and tea are really very, very high in polyphenols, as we said, and antioxidants in general. And the idea is to really get that nutrition beefed up. And you can't quit anything if you're not eating properly. Forget it. That's your starting point.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you guys get back to your show, but I want to remind everyone who's listening, we have the homeopathics, we have the Smoker's Cleanse by Renew Life, we have a wonderful new line by King Bio. We've got a smoke control homeopathic spray that is alcohol-free, and you can spray it in your mouth and on your skin. So anyone who's listening, anyone at Good Health is so pleased to help you try and get off cigarettes.
Absolutely.
And so we've got to do it. We've
Absolutely.
got to eradicate cigarettes. Thanks so much for letting me.
Laura, thank you so much, and I'll make sure folks are down there checking things out Monday morning.
All right.
All
Bye,
right.
Catherine.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, so don't forget, folks, good health is really loaded for bear when it comes to, your desire to quit tobacco. And one of the first places to begin is look for that Himalayan crystal salt inhaler. By Nature's Artifacts. That sounds like a really fascinating product. And again, for those folks who are looking to get off tobacco, and a great idea. Good Health is dedicated. Laura, obviously very impassioned about that topic. And, that is a great, great resource center for you to get that kind of information, support, product supply. And you should, I think, get right on that, because what a fantastic New Year's resolution it could be to make sure that you're dedicating yourself to preserving your life for future New Year's. And I know your family would certainly love that. So those folks out there, a lot of folks really, like I said a minute ago, it's orthomolecular. A lot of folks are so inclined because of the genetic predisposition, the cytochrome P450 gene or whatever it is that drives them into that addictive thing. If you've got that genetic drive, like mom or dad or grandmom or granddad, and then you do not supply yourself with a high abundance of nutrients, now your probability factor is really great.
Well, and with the onslaught of the cigarette smoke, it actually probably reduces those nutrients even more.
No question. And then of course, it becomes kind of a fait accompli at that point. So folks need to think in terms of, not just popping a single pill and making it all go away. You really got to think in terms of a holistic approach, an orthomolecular approach, and really dedicating yourself here at the first of the year to eating more fruits and vegetables, to taking the time to perhaps, cook those grain products in a whole grain form, not just a processed macaroni and cheese carbohydrate. Get your whole grain oatmeals from the health food store. Get your good whole grain breads. Make sure that you're using brown rice and not white. Take the time to try to make the difference and double that nutrient yield, because one day rolls into another, and before you know it, at the end of a month or so, you're quadrupling your nutrient supply as opposed to the time prior.
Yeah.
So you want to beef up those nutrients, because that's the starting point. It's going to make it much easier for you to quit your tobacco. But, once again, things like glutamine have been used both for alcohol addiction, tobacco addiction. The UCLA Medical Hospital out in Los Angeles has done an extensive number of studies over the years, particularly in the 80s, in the late 70s and early 80s, regarding folks who were highly addicted to both tobacco and folks who were addicted to alcohol as well. Yeah. And they used high doses of glutamine and made a tremendous difference with a lot of these folks.
It's just like with the GABA as well. There's those glutamate receptors in the brain that are looking for that. And then with the GABA, with nicotine as well, nicotine does stimulate the dopamine receptors.
Dopamine, yes. Well, alcohol will increase serotonin, and caffeine and alcohol increase dopamine. Yeah. And these dramatic highs and lows are the things that our body is really kind of working around. And it has these really powerful cravings and these brain chemical addictions. So, I think that to balance out your system and to bring it into a biochemical and a hormonal equilibrium is only going to happen through proper nutrients supply. And that's what puts you in that place to probably really have a sustaining quit.
Yeah.
You're not going to basically sustain that quit otherwise, because your addictions are so powerful, and the only way to overcome those addictions is with nutrition.
Yeah, and particularly, smoking for a lot of people is a stress time habit.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely,
the only way to kind of deal with that is to decrease the stress, and nutritionally is a great way to do it. Get proper nutrients, proper sleep, and it makes the quitting a lot easier.
Absolutely. And I encourage people to think about using histidine, Histadine, 500 milligrams up to twice a day on an empty stomach. L-glutamine, Glutamine powder, the 5,000 milligram glutamines, and vitamin B6, a couple hundred milligrams with meals 3 times a day, and zinc, 50 milligrams a day. I also talked about a homeopathic approach, Lobelia inflata, and Lobelia you should take in a 30C. Also Ignatia, Ignatia, 30C, and that's 3 pellets under the tongue 3 times a day. And as Catherine pointed out, acetyl L-cysteine. I was saying acetyl L-carnitine. That's because I was taking a ton of it myself earlier today. But L-cysteine is, there are various forms of high sulfur L-cysteine, which is a great way to go. And GABA, as we pointed out, is a great way to go as well.
Yeah, especially, for people that are prone to kind of upper respiratory things. The N-acetylcysteine is a great way to clear the congestion in the lungs and the tar. And, a lot of times that tar is sitting way down in the lung tissue where even through normal routes you wouldn't be able to get that out. So the N-acetylcysteine kind of is a mucolytic, so it breaks up the mucus down there and releases the tissue. And
it is, and not only that, but I think it's really very supportive in terms of its ability to convert free radicals
That's huge.
into antioxidants.
Right.
So folks who've been smoking, the aging process is expedited from smoking. A lot of free radicals from smoking, and that N-acetylcysteine will reverse that process.
Just the notion that across the board smokers, their vitamin C metabolism is twice the rate of normal people shows you that their whatever antioxidants they have in their bodies are using them up like crazy.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to take a quick cigarette break. We're going to take a quick little break here. We'll be right back. Larry, get out of there. Put those cookies down. We'll be right back. Stay right where you are.
Hi, this is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We're happy to announce our new partnership with Dr. Mark Mincola. When we started out in this industry, our intentions were to bring good quality nutrition, cutting-edge science, and reasonably priced products to the market, and also encourage people to take an active role in their own health and wellness. Jarrow Formulas has been in business for over 20 years and is considered an industry leader. Jarrow is incredibly active in consumers' rights to access dietary supplements and creating good quality manufacturing standards for our industry. When we first met Dr. Mincola, we knew that we had a true partner and an ally in the mission of creating a happy, healthy, and wealthy New England through the sharing of knowledge and enthusiasm for health and healing. And we're excited for the world of knowledge that there is that we can share with you all. As we take this journey together with great partners, great energy, and looking forward to a great future for all of those that are encouraged to come
Right in
along.
our area, we are fortunate to have one of the top martial arts schools in the country, Personal Best Karate. Personal Best has been recognized for their community involvement, professional staff development, character building programs, and exciting educational curriculum. Personal Best stands at the top of their industry. 5 locations offering personalized professional instruction. Not sure if karate is right for you? At no obligation, the staff at Personal Best will guide you in a private introductory program to see if karate is indeed the right fit to help you achieve your goals and meet your needs. What does karate at Personal Best teach you? Character building, success habits, helps you get in shape, relieve stress, self-control, setting goals, and, of course, self-defense. Personal Best's goal is to create successful, contributing members of society through the practice of the martial arts at Personal Best. Mr. Chris Rappold is, of course, the founder of Personal Best Karate. He tells me his greatest joy of all is to see the personal transformation in each and every student. Bring out your best with Personal Best Karate. Telephone number 508-285-5425. That's 508-285-5425. Locations in Norton, Foxborough, Southeaston, Franklin, and Taunton. That's Personal Best Karate. Yeah. All right.
I feel like I haven't been here in so long.
Where the heck have you been?
Where have you been?
I'm here every Sunday. Where have you
You weren't here 2 Sundays ago.
Okay. Well, once. No, actually, that was the snowy night. All right,
Kevin's
Candida.
like, where you been on vacation? I'm like, yeah, doing laundry.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so what you got for us there, Candida?
That was a great segment you guys just did.
Yeah, well, we've got to get
So
the word
knowledgeable.
out there. Got to get the word out there. We're trying to encourage people to quit tobacco.
That's it.
Save a life. Make it be yours.
For my Christmas present from my father, quick story, he gave me the old videos of when we were younger. I swear, every single segment, my mother's like carrying me or my sister, and she's got a cigarette in one hand, me in the other.
Wow.
It was crazy back then.
Well, those were the days. Those were the days when folks...
It was so acceptable.
Larry, Lawrence of Arabia. One
Can we
more
get a
mic,
mic
por
on?
favor. Grazie.
Hello.
Tante grazie.
Oh, my son's taking Spanish lessons.
Well, that's Italian, but that's all right. They're both Mediterranean.
Oh, that was funny. Yes, I've been spending a lot of time with the children's. Anyway, Good Health are looking for folks to join their team.
Good.
And we're
Fantastic. Couldn't work with
excited
a
about
more
that.
wonderful crew of people
Yeah, and during these times when people are, losing...
looking for
Yes.
work. Absolutely. So contact Good Health Natural Foods.
That's right. The Quincy store as well as the Hanover store. Floor associates, full-time, part-time. Just if you're good at multitasking, attention to detail, they're looking for you. They also have a cleaning maintenance associate full-time position at Quincy and in the Hanover store.
So they need all kinds of help over there.
Right.
That's right.
That's
And
because
the-
they're growing by the days.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Those folks are constantly busy over there, and they should be.
That's right. And, you don't have to worry about... Now, there's a commercial cleaning job that they're looking for, but you don't have to worry about the hazardous material involved
Yeah.
with that because
Right.
it's all natural.
Right.
That's a good point.
No
I
hazard.
added that in.
Well, that's good, though.
You like that?
That's good. I like that. We need a quick little rim shot on it.
They're also looking for a floor associate in the Quincy store and also some cashiers. So
Very good. That's Good Health
full
Natural
and
Foods. So let them know the phone number there so they can call. It's 781-826-0808.
That's the Hanover.
And 781. Go ahead.
617.
617 for Quincy, of course.
773.
7925.
4925.
4925. Close.
I love You've been off. 1627 Hancock Street in Quincy. And tell them we said hi.
Yes, absolutely. And if folks are looking for work, believe me, you could not find more wonderful people to work with, to learn from. and to partnership up with, I'm sure you'll really, really have a great, great work experience over at Good Health Natural Foods.
Yeah, and the customers that are there are probably so pleasant and nice.
Yeah, they are.
So
They're awesome.
like us,
Great
we're the
place
customers.
to be. Yes, indeed.
They're so nice to my kids, too.
Aww.
It's so much fun going down there. So we have a one-day intensive coming up in March.
An intensive.
One-day muscle testing intensive class.
Great.
And it's going to be on a Saturday in March.
A Saturday in March.
We're not quite sure when yet, but we're planning it.
All right. Well, we'll just kind of float it out there a little bit right now.
Yeah, if folks are interested, they could log on to my website. I'm sure by Monday we'll have it up and running.
Good. Good.
They're going to learn all about the life force analysis, Mark Mancola's energy healing system, while integrating Oriental medicine, kinesiology, and applied nutritional therapy. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to basically do what we did in the 6-month programs, but we're going to kind of tighten them up and really intensify it over a weekend and let folks really get focused on exactly what muscle testing is all about and how they can implement it in their work if they're an allied professional, or perhaps how they can just simply work within the family and friendship circle realm at helping those people that they love and care about to tune into analytically in a diagnostic way, energetically, where the weaknesses and strengths are with their bodies, what they can do about it, how they can arrive at conclusions that bring about solutions. How to determine doses on vitamins. You know, folks want to know which vitamin should I take and how much.
Right.
These are all ways that they can instantly identify with by learning how to muscle test. Take this much of this vitamin or that vitamin. You know, folks are always confused. I read about this vitamin or that vitamin, what it does or what it's purported to do based on studies. Should I take it? Is it good for me? You know, and it can get kind of confusing. But this eliminates the confusion and helps folks and empowers folks to really tune in specifically to know right to a T exactly what to take, how much to take, and why, which system in their body will benefit most from it, et cetera, et cetera. So, and how to identify with food allergies and food intolerances. So many folks have so many conditions, like we talked about orthomolecular, the idea of having a problem, whether it's migraine headaches or backaches or whatever they might be dealing with, many times is a matter of addition through subtraction. Instead of saying, well, what should I take for this? It's a matter of what should I remove from my daily plan for this? Because if you stop using the wheat or the dairy or the corn or whatever it might be, you may see the headaches completely clear up or the backaches clear up, et cetera. So
that's an awesome point. I don't think most people realize that if you eliminate something from your diet, it could, instead of adding something.
Well, that's my mantra. My mantra is addition through subtraction, and then you supplement. But you don't supplement until you've cleared the decks.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep layering. You want to make sure that you've gotten down to the bottom layer first, and then you want to specifically add the right supplement in the right dose.
Right.
So we're going to teach people how to deal with it in an exactitude like they'll never imagine, and very easy to do.
So they'll walk away with tools where they could, in their own households, with their children, their grandparents, their parents, be able to muscle test.
Absolutely. Simple. But we'll make sure everybody gets a very clear understanding of how to work with it.
Lots of handouts.
Lots of handouts and a lot of
tapes.
detailed instruction, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be an intensive, be a lot of fun.
I'm so excited.
And if folks are interested,
they could call Candida. They probably have the number.
What is her
now.
number again? 781-834-2728.
That's right. I was going to get a new cell phone, and I thought my husband was going to switch the number. I was like, no, don't do that. Everybody knows.
So you've had a good holiday season,
yes.
and you're off to a new year's start, and everything's going well, right?
Yes, great.
Kids are all healthy?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Doing well.
All right,
Good
great.
to see you guys.
Well, good to see you as well.
I'll see you next week, I promise.
Great, all right. Tell everybody I said hello.
I will. Have a
all
good
right.
one.
And, of course, go ahead, Larry, hit it.
Oh, he's...
No, Larry's just not going to do that anymore.
Slacking off.
Slacking off.
Slacker.
My resolution for the year 2009 was to treat Candida with lots of respect. Right.
He's not going to play her theme song anymore. But anyway, we're going to get back on point here for a moment or two. One of the things that I thought was really interesting to bring in tonight is Gladys Block, Dr. Gladys Block from the University of California at Berkeley. She basically reviewed 170 studies from 17 nations. Did Dr. Gladys Block from the University of California at Berkeley, came up with a remarkable message. And that message is those folks in all of these studies, 170 studies from 17 nations, those folks who ate the highest amount of fruits and vegetables compared in these epidemiological studies to those who ate the least, slashed their risk of cancers, total cancers, by 50%, cut them in half. That includes cancers of the lung, colon, breast, cervix, esophagus, oral cavity, stomach, bladder, and pancreas and ovary. So, I mean, what more do we need to say?
Yeah.
That pretty much puts the crown on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's, diet and our ability to fight the environment, with the tools that we get from our diet.
Absolutely true. And, one of my favorite little books is Food, Your Miracle Medicine by Gene Carper. I love the book. And Gene Carper says, some research shows that eating fruit twice a day instead of less than 3 times a week, which is the national average, cut the risk of lung cancer, folks, by 75%, even among smokers.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So when we talk about berries, cherries, grapes, and tea, we're not fooling around here.
We're talking lunch, dinner.
We're talking the real thing. We're talking that, the message, again, that food is medicine. Again, cutting your risk of lung cancer by 75% by eating 2 fruits a day. Come on.
Well, I mean, it's, the way that we live our lives nowadays, and especially for us New Englanders in the winter, your access to fresh fruits and vegetables really goes down.
It does.
For a lot of people in the winter, if you look at how much your diet changes between summer to winter, it's quite amazing. The amount of fresh food that you eat during the summer is a lot more. So
I juice every morning, and I basically bust through about 3 fruits and 2 stalks of vegetable.
That's amazing.
And then do the salads for lunch.
Yeah.
So I'm like banging fruits, and I have like probably 3 edible type fruits or eaten fruits on top of it a day. So
you really have to.
You do. You've got to do it. But I'll tell you what, the way you feel if you oxygenate yourself, alkalize yourself, and obviously build up these remarkable phytonutrient yields in your system, that's these are the difference makers, folks. These are the difference makers. I just recently had a remarkable electrodermal screening done down at Dr. Rothfeld's office.
Oh, yeah.
Where they check all, and Beth is wonderful. She is so amazing. She's so good with the EDS system, but I was checked for the EDS stuff, and the cancer metabolic reading that I got was 0.
Wow.
It's like I had a 0 risk of of cancer at this point, based on the EDS reading anyway, which is and I know it's because of the antioxidants. It's the fruits and veggies.
Yeah, and that's it, and making those changes is really easy. So if people just with our pomegranate concentrate.
Oh, that's a great product.
I
take that every night before bed.
Yeah, just get some sparkling water and put about an ounce in there and then drink it throughout the day.
Do you know what I do before bed with that? I take 2 tablespoons of liquid chlorophyll, and I take 2 tablespoons of your juice, pomegranate juice, and I just do that little alkaline pop before bed.
Yeah, I mean, that concentrate, it's, 1 ounce of that concentrate is equivalent to eating 12 pomegranates.
Right.
And
there. My pH every morning is about 6.4, 6.8, something like that. Right down the middle of the bowling alley.
Yeah.
So thanks to Jarl for that.
Yeah.
And it goes great with liquid chlorophyll, and you put a little water in there. Good stuff.
It really does.
But, the real key message here, again, when you think about what that little bit that I just shared with you from Dr. Gladys Block, who's a great researcher from University of California, Berkeley. But think about it, folks. 170 studies from 17 nations.
Right.
And those folks who ate the most fruits and vegetables cut their cancer risks of lung, colon, breast, cervix, esophagus, oral, stomach, bladder, pancreas, and ovary by 50%.
Right.
So, it's definitely right there, right out in front of us. And unfortunately, that we're not getting that done because, again, if you look at the work of Patrick Quillen and Patrick Quillen's interesting research from his book, he's got a great book called Beating Cancer with Nutrition.
I see broccoli right on the front cover.
Well, and he talks, and he talks about the Department of Agriculture studies. Says they researched 11,000 Americans on a given day. 41% didn't eat any fruit at all.
I believe that.
Okay,
really
and 82% no cruciferous green vegetables.
I believe it.
72% no vitamin C rich fruits and vegetables. 80% no vitamin A rich fruits or vegetables. 84% no fiber. I mean,
what were those first 2 again?
41% ate no fruit.
No fruit.
At all. 82% ate no green vegetables.
82%
no green vegetables. What are they eating? Again, according to the remarkable book that Patrick Quillen put together, the average American annually, 756 donuts, 60 pounds of cakes and cookies, 23 gallons of ice cream, 7 pounds of potato chips, 22 pounds of candy, 200 sticks of gum, 365 servings of soda, 90 pounds of fat, and 134 pounds of refined sugar a year.
No wonder.
Come on here.
Yeah.
I mean, we could really be cutting these numbers in half or by 2/3 or at least, maybe even 75%, like the researchers suggest with cancer. Those folks who ate fruits twice a day instead of 3 times a week cut their risk of lung cancer 75%. I believe that.
So just eat fruit twice a day.
Just eat fruit twice a day. Pretty simple solution.
Green
I think the key here really is to make sure that you understand that fruits and vegetables are loaded with something very, very important, antioxidants.
Fresh fruits and vegetables.
Fresh fruits and vegetables, absolutely right. And there are really 3 very important support systems that are developed: neutralizing of free radicals, eliminating of toxins, and balancing of hormones. Those are the 3 chief things that your antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables will support you with. We've talked on the program before about the allylic sulfides, things that, like garlic and onions and all that stuff, and scallions and leeks, carotenoids with broccoli, carrots, green beans and tomatoes and green vegetables and all that stuff, flavonoids with your fruits. These are the kind of things that you want to build up in your system to really dramatically lower the risk factors and, as we said earlier, to help you quit the addictions, to help you quit the tobacco, to help you quit the alcohols, et cetera, et cetera. If you think about orthomolecular, meaning the right molecule, there are a number of remarkable researchers, Nobel Prize researchers like Linus Pauling and we talked about Carl Pfeiffer, a brilliant researcher at Princeton. What do we learn from these folks? We learn that it's all about really filling in the gaps of the voids. Mm-hmm. Wherever you have nutrient deficiencies that are very significant, you are most vulnerable to having something bad happen to you from the genetic perspective. But if you fill in those missing gaps with proper supply of nutrients, you will lower the risk factors. And I think that's really what this is all about.
Yeah.
And, I think, too, we talk often about things like N-acetylcysteine. We talk about some of these magnificent, carnitine is great stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of these magnificent amino acids in supplement form, I think, are absolutely essential for building up a neurotransmission system that keeps the brain functioning in a way that is much less inclined to follow addictive patterns.
Yeah, and that being said, we live in an environment and in a society that is extremely toxic.
Absolutely.
If we were living in a pristine environment, the foods that we would be eating would be enough to nurture us, but because we are battling so many things, the supplementation becomes really important. And it makes such a huge difference. People notice it.
That's a very important point, because I think so many of us, as you point out, are at a distinct biochemical disadvantage with the pollutants, the toxins, the stresses, etc. So the proper supplementation is a real important part of that equation. But I think that these amino acids as neurotransmitters that really put the brain in that harmonious biochemical mode are so important, because a lot of these folks who are addicted are basically neurotransmission systems are broken down, and they're really very imbalanced in that regard. So important stuff. We're going to take a short little break. Are you going to be with us for the end, or are you going to cut out of here early?
I have somebody in the car.
Somebody in the car. A little guy that I think I know who that is. Will you tend to him? And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And stick around. I'll be right back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what you can do to get off tobacco, and stay right where you are.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. We're all about smart, simple nutrition. Let us help you keep your resolutions and achieve all your personal goals. Lose weight, feel better, and look your very best today. Thanks for listening to the Health and Healing Show. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Catherine from Jaro Formulas. We're happy to announce our new partnership with Dr. Mark Mincola. When we started out in this industry, our intentions were to bring good quality nutrition, cutting-edge science, and reasonably priced products to the market, and also encourage people to take an active role in their own health and wellness. Jaro Formulas has been in business for over 20 years and is considered an industry leader. Jaro is incredibly active in consumers' rights to access dietary supplements and creating good quality manufacturing standards for our industry. When we first met Dr. Mincola, we knew that we had a true partner and an ally in the mission of creating a happy, healthy, and wealthy New England through the sharing of knowledge and enthusiasm for health and healing. And we're excited for the world of knowledge that there is that we can share with you all as we take this journey together with great partners, great energy, and looking forward to a great future for all of those that are encouraged to come along.
Alrighty, welcome back in. And, I just want to share a quick little tidbit of information here. I know that so many folks out there are really passionate about the latest cutting-edge nutritional information. That's why you're out there. And a lot of folks would like to go to the next step and to have some follow-through. Well, I'm very happy to announce that our new natural healthcare offices in Cohasset are offering personalized nutritional consultations. So if you really want to get focused, get your own nutritional readings done, and really kind of follow your path specifically regarding the most important supplements, find out about your food allergies, well, we got some really good folks waiting to help you out at Santi, S-A-N-T-I, Holistic Healing. You will experience a very informative, individualized nutritional consultation by one of my finest personally trained nutrition experts. Your consultant will test you, as I said, for your specific food allergies, your vitamins, your supplements, etc. Together, you'll chart out a personalized, optimal nutritional roadmap that will detail your healthiest foods and nutritional supplements in even specific doses. And if that's not enough, we've also got a great staff of very deep tissue relaxing healing massage artists at our Santi Holistic Healing Center. So whether it's nutritional consulting or healing massage that you're interested in, we at Santi Healing are prepared to give you the healing experience of a lifetime. Call us at 781-383-3393. That's 781-383-3393. All right, as promised, we're going to kind of put the cap a little bit tonight on what we've been discussing this evening because, again, I know a lot of folks out there are battling with the tobacco business. And, as we said earlier in the broadcast, it's really a sad statement that 150,000 Americans are dying every year from lung cancer. And that number could drop to 20,000, from 150 down to 20,000. So in other words, 130,000 out of the 150,000 are essentially dying of lung cancer due directly to the ill effects of tobacco and cigarette smoke. So, we're trying to encourage people to get off that tobacco because we could make such a huge difference with cancer. Unfortunately, that right now we're confronted with, and we have great confidence that there's good people out there that are ready to make that powerful charge, and we'd like to kind of support that effort. As we said earlier, Dr. Carl Pfeiffer at the Princeton BioBrain Center found that folks who have high histamine levels, or even very low histamine levels, dramatically high or low or high what's called MAV factor, which basically means that they're low in vitamin B6 and zinc. And one of the ways that he determined that you can kind of pinpoint yourself in that regard is if you have a hard time recalling your dreams. If you're one of those folks and you happen to be addicted to tobacco, you might want to consider using some vitamin B6, 200 milligrams, one with meals, 3 a day. Also zinc, I recommend gluconate, zinc gluconate, 50 milligrams a day with food. Also 2 amino acids. One is called L-glutamine, Glutamine, 5,000 milligrams of the glutamine powder, and which is basically 1 scoop. And also L-histidine, Histadine, L-histidine, 500 milligrams, 1 or 2 of those a day on an empty stomach. I also mentioned earlier that there's a number of different homeopathic medicines that I've had great success with regards to folks having addiction problems and beating tobacco. One of those is lobelia, L-O-B-E-L-I-A. That's a 30C of lobelia, 3 pellets under the tongue 3 times a day. And I like that with Ignatia, I-G-N-A-T-I-A. Once again, another homeopathic to kind of help you with the emotional tension and stress around the addiction. And that's a 30C, as I said, also 3 pellets under the tongue 3 times a day. And Laura from Good Health Natural Foods brought up a great idea as well, great topic, the GABA, G-A-B, gamma-aminobutyric acid, or GABA to you. And GABA is an amino acid that you can purchase over the counter, health food store, 500 milligrams probably 2 or 3 of those a day on an empty stomach. And again, that has kind of a nerve tranquilizing effect. It sort of takes the tension level down and will make it a little bit easier for you to get off the tobacco. And N-acetylcysteine, Catherine Foley, of course, brought up NAC, which is a great idea. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, or just NAC to you. 500 milligrams, 2 a day will help a great deal as well. But, as we've said repeatedly, not going to do a bit of good all by themselves. These are indeed supplements, and they're designed to be just that. So that means that you're going to really have to try to practice orthomolecular support, or helping yourself to get the right molecules balanced out in your body with proper nutrition. If your B vitamins are low, which certainly stress will see to, because stress drives down those B complexes. If your B vitamins are low, it's going to make you more susceptible to addiction, especially vitamin B3, vitamin B6. If your zinc levels are low, once again, susceptible to more addiction problems. And the amino acid counts in your body, the cysteine, histidine, glutamine, and GABA, these are levels that, once again, if they're low, you're going to be more susceptible. So orthomolecular tells us that by proper nutrition and proper supplementation, you put yourself in a really good position to neutralize the drive at a brain chemistry level for what we've come to associate with as tobacco addiction. All right, and nutritionally speaking, we've mentioned earlier that the antioxidants, really important. Many of these antioxidants neutralize the free radical damage caused by cigarette smoke. And what that means essentially is that the aging process and the ensuing disease process that unfortunately accompanies cigarette smoking can be really antagonized by the proper phytonutrients, which neutralize free radicals, in some cases actually convert these free radicals into antioxidants. And one of the things that N-acetylcysteine does, and L-glutathione does, alpha-lipoic acid, and many of your fruits and vegetables do, is they convert these damaging free radicals into protective antioxidants. They turn bad guys into good guys. So, real important. Also, they eliminate endotoxins. They regulate hormones. A lot of folks, for example, are aware of the fact that there are natural estrogens in many of the plant foods that we consume, such as soy, and a lot of the fruits and vegetables as well. But there are 9 categories of these phytonutrients that are very high in antioxidants: allylic sulfides, carotenoids, flavonoids, indoles, isoflavones, isothiocyanates, lignans, monoterpenes, and phenols. These are the 9 families of powerhouses that really turn our entire chemistry around. All you have to know is Dr. Gladys Block at the University of California followed 170 studies from 17 nations. And as she assessed those epidemiological studies, she found that those folks who ate the highest level of fruits and vegetables cut their risk of total cancer by 50%. And that includes cancers of lung, colon, breast, cervix, esophagus, oral cavity, stomach, bladder, pancreas, and ovary. And once again, also, Gene Carper mentions that research shows that eating fruit twice a day instead of less than 3 times a week cut the risk of lung cancer by 75%, even among smokers. All right, so we've given you the skinny yet again, and hopefully you'll make good on it. And stay tuned for Dr. Julie Johnson, and she will be in just in a few moments to do her program, Sex on the South Shore. Fascinating, interesting program. Give her a call, ask her some questions. And we've been discussing nutrition with you. And, Julie's, I see, Julie's got a tape this evening, so you cannot call her, but listen to her show anyway. And we've been, of course, discussing areas of health, preventive medicine, natural nutrition, and natural healing, etc., as we do each and every Sunday night. And folks interested in seeing this broadcast or listening to it, you can actually catch it on our website at www.maxhealing.com. That's pretty easy to remember. Max Healing is one word, M-A-X, healing.com. Also, each and every Wednesday, I do a segment on New England cable news at 9:45, 10:45, and 11:45, and it is called You Are What You Eat. So I hope you take a look at those. But you've been listening to 95.9 FM WATD, the home of the Natural Health and Healing Show. And my name is Mark Mincola, and I'll be with you each and every Sunday night, as this evening. And until next Sunday night, I remind you, please be wise, be aware, be well. Make it a healthy week. Good night.
Thank you for joining Mark Mincola for the Natural Health and Healing Show. Call Mark each Sunday evening at 8 o'clock for the latest nutrition.